just want to know what the fuck's going on. Like, these guys are hitting my mom with everything. Versed, tramadol, fucking Dilaudid, fucking everything. Like, oh, Jesus fuck. Like, can you just let us go into the fucking hospital? It started with Dilaudid, and then they switched to like a morphine mixture, more of a morphine-esque mixture, and now it's Versed and tramadol and fuck. Like, they just keep doping my mom up. Just let us be there. She's like, just let us go see our fucking mom. That'll help her a lot too. You don't have to keep fucking doping her up. She knows what's going on, and like, because she doesn't have the comfort, and they can't comfort her, they just keep fucking doping her. Just let us go there and help her and comfort her, and then you won't have to keep doping my fucking mom up, and then she can't speak with us. You know what I mean? Like, I get the protocols. They don't want to spread COVID. I got a COVID test. It was negative. I got it back yesterday. I called them. I said, hey, I got my COVID negative test. They already approved me and my sister as ECPs. We're vaccinated. Like, what more do we need? What else? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Like, the hospital, and we've been in the hospital multiple times. It's empty. The whole bottom floor, their emergency department's closed. They have a whole empty bottom floor. Why are they cramming everyone upstairs? Luckily, my mom has her own room, but there's rooms where there's 4 people in one room, and they all have MRSA and shit, and now COVID. MRSA, COVID, they're testing my mom every day. Like, the other thing I'm worried about is because when I did security, all the nurses were infected, and all the patients were getting infected because all the nurses were infected. So now I'm worried about this too with my mom. It's like, I don't fucking know. Supposedly there's only 4 people infected there. I don't fucking know what's going on. It's insane. It's blowing my mind. And now the hospital director I haven't heard from her once. She hasn't returned any calls. All I hear is bad things. like the hospital director is not a people person. And yeah, so it's just ridiculous. It's insane. Yeah. My mom originally came to the hospital with ascites and stomach problems. I was like asking the doctor, can we drain this? Like, when my mom went to the hospital before for an emergency, they had put a tube in her nose or something, and they drained her stomach. They drained a bunch of shit out there. She's like, no, we can't do that. We don't do the nasal drain, and that's barbaric. They don't do that anymore. Then why did they do it to my mom like 3 weeks ago? And then for the draining, like, oh, well, if we drain her ascites, then we could hit something wrong. There could be blood. There could be this. There could be that. Okay, but can you look into it? Can you get an expert? Can you get a fucking Dr. House to just see and go, oh, okay, here's an area we can work with. We'll drain this area. Yeah. It was, oh, well, this and this could happen, so we're not going to look into it. We're not going to do it. And, like, it was during the holidays, obviously, so I'm just sure there wasn't a professional there to assist. But it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make like a lick of sense. Like, you built the hospitals to serve a certain community and a certain population, and all of a sudden the hospitals can't handle that population. And like, a lot of the videos and people that I know that I'm going in the hospitals have been saying all the same thing. Like, it's not packed. It's not wall to wall. There's no people in the hallways. The people that we see in the hallways are the people that are normally in the hallways because they're screaming and they're tossing shit and they need to be monitored 24/7 in front of the nursing station. I've seen those people, but I haven't seen hallways where I can't walk and where, there's people dying in the hallways and they're packed with people. If anything, I've seen a lot of empty rooms. I've seen a lot of empty rooms that are closed and like they don't let people in, like, you know what I mean, which is good. Like, we want extra capacity, which is good. But the other thing too that I see is like a lot of these rooms are filled with wheelchairs and equipment. A lot of I know usually they have storage rooms, of course, yeah, but like, there's a lot of these storage rooms that just look packed with untouched equipment. So, it's just, something's not right. It doesn't seem like the hospitals are working overtime. It seems like they're short staffed and they're trying to accommodate for that. That's what I'm seeing. This isn't a hospital. This is like it's an emergency hospital. They shut the emergency room down and now it's just palliative. But I don't know, just very curious things, very curious situations in Canada. Yeah, I'm just going through the shit right now. So, if anyone else is out there, I feel for you. I sympathize. I empathize. This is horrible, unprecedented times. And I don't know. If you're watching this, I hope this kind of helps you if you're in the same situation. We have family in the hospital, you can't go see them because of an outbreak or whatever. yeah, just stay strong. Try to communicate with them as best as you can on the phone. You know, put them at ease as much as you can, and just try to work with the system as much as you can. But record and report everything, every single thing. Report and record, please. That's all I can say. Report and record and report. Yeah, people need to start talking in Canada. We need to make, this is an awful outbreak. You should get vaccinated. It helps. Those who are at risk should absolutely be vaccinated. If you're a health risk, absolutely 100%. I believe that if you are healthy and that you have contracted COVID before and you've recovered, there's a lot of talk about antibodies. I'm not an expert. I cannot vouch for this. There are a lot of talk about antibodies and how they may be better off for you than taking an mRNA vaccine after you've recovered from COVID. No, do not take my word for it. I'm not a medical expert. I'm just saying, from what I've heard, things are interesting. If we're looking into the Fauci thing, I'm not to be a conspiracy theorist, but he had money tied in with Wuhan, and if you know about Canada, we had Chinese biological scientists that fled the country a couple of years ago, and they say, oh, that has nothing to do with Wuhan, that has nothing to, but I'm sure it doesn't, but it's just very fishy stuff. Anyway, my mind's still blown that we haven't heard anything from Mona Nemer. Like, I don't know if she's not the chief science advisor officer anymore, but we've never heard from this lady. We hear Tam every fucking day, and all these other doctors, fucking Dr. Swedish, Dr. Fucking whatever the hell his name is. And now we have Dr. Wong and, pushing the doom and gloom. But, yeah, without, quoting statistics, they're like, oh, go here and look at the statistics and go here and go. We're fucked. Everybody's fucked if you don't get vaccinated and if you don't quarantine, if we don't implement these mandates and shut down these businesses, and everybody's fucked. And, whatever. If they do raise the mandates, they're going to come out with the narrative that, oh, it's a good thing we fucking, all your grandparents died, and good thing we stopped you from seeing your parents while they were dying, because if we didn't, then we wouldn't have recovered like this. I don't know. It still doesn't make sense that they reduced the mandates in the summer. Everybody was going out. Everybody was going to concerts, UFC, fucking all this shit, raves. And then in the wintertime, when everybody's indoors, nobody's going out, nobody's doing anything, now it's going to spike. And during flu season too. So I don't know. This is fucked. Something needs to change. Something's got to give. There's too much divisiveness. There's too much, I don't know. The politicians are pulling some fucking shit. I don't know. The firing of medical staff doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any. You're either working peak COVID, and then after, when everything calms down, now we're going to fire you for not being vaccinated. Just put them in another wing of the facility. We can have them work with the sick people. I don't know. Keep the non-sick doctors, keep the vaccinated doctors with the vaccinated patients. Now they're asking government workers and to work in volunteers. They're asking for volunteers out in New Brunswick to volunteer in the hospital. So now, on top of that, now you don't have to pay medical staff their higher wages, and you have unqualified people working in the hospital, taking care of people that are severely ill. How is that a solution? Let's get unqualified individuals in there. And, we're trying to stop the spread, but let's get more people that are unqualified and that aren't medical specialists in there, because they're really gonna, unqualified medical specialists definitely aren't gonna cause a spread or any type of outbreak. We're already having issues in the system right now with our currently trained medical staff. Let's get a bunch of fucking untrained guys in there too, just because we need it. That's what we need. We don't need to relax the mandates so that we can have our unvaccinated trained medical staff working. What we need is to fire the trained medical staff and hire volunteer nobodies who know nothing about medicine. We need the government workers now working in the hospital because they need more recognition. It really feels like a push for politicians and scientists that are normally on the back burner to just get in the limelight. Literally, it just feels like that. People are dying more and more than ever, and it's insane. It seems like the COVID deaths are relenting, which is nice. But then you have all this new group of people saying that that's a conspiracy now. The lack of COVID deaths is a conspiracy. Like, just get the numbers. Get the fucking numbers. There's data. Find the data. Go with the data. Okay? And even then, it's kind of iffy because, yeah, if you look at the graphs, it's like summertime. Okay, mandates. Summertime. This is the COVID line. Mandates removed in the summer. Everybody could go to concerts. Everybody's going to UFC. Everybody's going out to the beach. Da 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 da. Wintertime comes. Everybody's staying indoors. It's cold. Nobody wants to do anything. Whoa! 24,000 people a day. 24,000 people a day infected. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sure. That makes sense, right? Just makes sense. Transport COVID patients without fully testing them from hospital to hospital, causing outbreaks. Yeah, it makes sense.